Many of you have probably noticed people around campus wearing buttons or stickers today, or maybe you've had to work with someone who could only communicate through writing. These students are participating in the National Day of Silence, a GLSEN-sponsored but student-based initiative designed to promote awareness and demonstrate support for anyone being harassed for their actual or perceived sexual preference, identity, or expression, and serve as a day of reflection and remembrance of victims. Participating students took a vow of silence for the duration of the school day, emulating that of those who are silenced by the attitudes of their peers or suicide. There are a few isolated events that led me to bring the DOS to Parkwood. The first of them is my friend Zoe Kaiser, who is out here somewhere, presumably, and the story she related of friends of hers who were victims. The second was a poll I took for psychology class on the issue. I expected the results to be strictly conservative, but I was thrilled to discover that 70% of students polled would support a friend who came out. As uplifting as this figure was, it disconcerted me that although these supporters existed, the opposition was so vocal I had no idea they were there. A closeted individual, especially when victimized by anti-LGBT harassment, would know either. That's why I thought the initiative was a good match for us. It's not a pro-homosexuality protest. It's anti-bullying and it's anti-hate. As Zoe said, we simply want others to watch what they say a little more, or open their arms more. Through our silence, I hope we can encourage our peers to think for themselves on the issue, instead of letting their friends, parents, or society think for them. It's a great way to open up a dialogue. My grandfather was also a big influence on this. The taboo on sexual minorities when he was growing up made him so ashamed of himself and afraid of persecution, he married my grandmother and he had a daughter. It wasn't until he was 29 and had a well-respected gay professor that he realized he neither could nor had to do this anymore. He was lucky enough that his wife helped him and was completely supportive as he came to terms with himself. He never properly came out to his daughter, but when she was 9, my mother called him to tell him that she knew he was gay and that it didn't matter. She still loved him. He was very fortunate, but not everyone is. It appalls me to think of what he went through and that such attitudes still exist today. I stand before you today in order to break our silence, as my grandfather broke his, and as the poets participating today will break theirs for various reasons. No longer will we be silenced by ourselves or our peers. We speak for those who can't, and in doing so, we may be saving lives. If there is one student today who feels liberated or even slightly more comfortable with themselves, we've succeeded.